Magic community. Alright everybody, so we're off to the races here in our round 2 feature match. We got Nick Reid on the left playing John Midrange, an interesting deck. We've seen Casey Skibby pilot in the last few weeks, which is basically just like John always is. It's a lot of good cards, including all the ones you're seeing, and then features a high end of Reaper of the Wilds, which is a fun card I'm glad to see get some play. And then Garrett Meadows, stream regular, who's playing Mono Black Devotion. Turn 1 Thoughtseize from Garrett, revealing a hand of Elvish Mystic, Caryatid, Xenagos, Dreadbore, and a Shockland, taking an Abrupt Decay. I wonder why we took the Decay there. To save our Pack Rat? But we also have Dreadbore. Do we have a follow? No? Why do we take Decay? Not Xenagos. Because we want to save our Underworld connections, maybe? Nick is currently playing the kind of Magic where you never draw a green source, and so the game is not competitive. But Garrett's not putting any pressure on. Of course, he can play a 4th land and slam a Desecration Demon here, and that quickly changes. Mountaineers 29 asking in the chat, is Nick the guy selling cards tomorrow? That is. Nick is the proprietor of AffinityForCards.com.
The little logo in the bottom right.
Absolutely, supporting our stream since very early on. And he will be featured at tomorrow's West Virginia PTQ, where he'll be having a vendor booth. So make sure you come by and see us first if you want someone to give you a reasonable amount of money for your cards. And feel free to buy, sell, and trade. There'll be a whole case full of goodies.
Looks like we do have a couple people here that first-time viewers from my tweet. So
this guy is not correct. This guy has been watching for 16 months. He is just trolling you. Now Valifar maybe.
All right.
Descent 101 is Cameron, who watches from Australia.
Oh, okay.
Meanwhile, Nick has found a green source. He has taken out 1 Desecration Demon with ultimate price.
I think I have 3 or 4 Tundras, actually.
Well, if you have 3, I have the 4th, so we're good to go.
So we have Tundras. Lots of Tundras.
Lots of Tundras, lots of duels in general, right?
Yeah, I usually have
Legacy
somewhere
staples.
around 40.
Bob's Goyce fetches.
Indeed.
Every staple you will need for your standard deck, including commons and uncommons, and hard to find rares. So make sure to swing by. What just happened there?
Elliot Scott, jeez.
Elliot Scott's watching?
Yeah, that's Hackworth. So don't stroke my ego too hard.
I know, Mr. Hackworth.
You don't have to stroke it. It's already big enough.
Boom! So meanwhile, what we saw here was that Nick, I think, made a mistake. No, he had another Abrupt Decay. So Nick, Mizium Mortars in response. Garrett activated Pack Rat. Nick had a follow-up Abrupt Decay, but Garrett just plays another Pack Rat. So Pack Rat is a stupid card. It's going to be very difficult for Nick to beat here. Tapping 4, we're going to play a Xenagos. Right into the glare on our... The light above the feature match area used to be burnt out, which was perfect, because there was never any glare. But then they replaced it. Now we're screwed. So the shiny card you can't see is a Xenagos. We're ticking it up, making some mana, playing a Sylvan Caryatid, which will at least block this Pack Rat, assuming Garrett goes ahead and makes a Pack Rat now, which he should. This is the point of the game where Garrett should just make a Pack Rat every turn for every card in his hand that isn't a Desecration Demon.
You just keep making Pack Rats, even if it is a Desecration Demon.
I can argue with that. Getting a lot of card advantage off this Underworld connections, and Nick's deck not really the kind that puts a lot of pressure on. Ultimate price on the Elvish Mystic. Devour Flesh nets the Caryatid. Serve in, kills Xenagos. Still 1 card
He had
in
enough
hand.
for a Pack Rat, too.
Yep. Didn't even need to pump his... he did find a Mutavault there, as we see at the top of the screen, so he does have... he can make those... Pack Rats 1 bigger with that. There's a replacement Xenagos, which does nothing here. It's just going to make a Satyr, which is going to chump block something. They don't make a Pack Rat token because I think they're afraid because it's an exact copy of the card. That's very annoying because now you just have to use backwards cards from my token pile. I haven't updated Lifetime in 100 years.
100 years?
Yep. Wasn't exaggerating at all. So,
sure.
so Garrett draws a card off Connections, trying to figure out what he wants to do here. I think what you do here is you pitch one to a Pack Rat, activate your Mutavault, and serve in with everybody, right? I could care less about this Meadows at this point. What's it doing? Making a 2/2 every turn that blocks? It's a very expensive fog. It's not even a fog, it's a one creature fog.
Yeah, in with the team.
So 2 Pack Rats at Xenagos, 1 at Nick, no blocks from Nick. Garrett's going to activate his Mutavault before damage, so getting in for 4.
Cute. Another Pack Rat. Nom nom. Draw a card. Draw another card. Make 2 more Pack Rats. Attack for 1, 2, 3, 4.
He
5,
can
6,
block
7
1.
times 4, 28. Yep. There you go.
4 are going to get in. They're going to
28
be
minus 7 is still 21. That's higher than 19.
That's why I brought him in, folks, for his excellent mathematical, basic arithmetic skills. As Nick Vekpart correctly discerns that 21 is more than 19. And by the rules of magic, Nick loses.
Memory add-up's been printed a couple times.
I don't. Yeah, exactly.
It only counts
I
as
could
1.
care less how many times they've printed that card. My answer is probably 2 times too many. But yeah, so that is a fun trivia question. So put your numeric answer on our Facebook page, like the page, and you could win 2 unglued forests. Meanwhile, we're back to game number 2 here. Nick Reid on the play, down a game. He takes out the first Pack Rat with a Devour Flesh. Follows up with Garrett follows up with an Underworld Connections here. So Nick was able to kill 1 Pack Rat last game.
He did?
Yeah, he killed
Missed
1.
that.
Yeah, remember he mortars, then Garrett activated it, then he Abrupt Decayed, the new one. Because Garrett's smartly playing it on 5 to be able to play and activate, but then Garrett just followed up with another one, and then that ended up winning the game because Pack Rat is a silly card. Well, and that is a very interesting point for our giveaway that Garthix did. Sure, Garthix. Knowing we'll know if you post afterwards because there's timestamps on everything. So we will be shutting that down after the stream. So this game a lot more competitive here. Garrett had his Underworld Connections, Abrupt Decay to Pack Rat taken out as well. Resolving a Thoughtseize here, seeing Mortars, Hero's Downfall, Dreadbore, and a Pelucranos. What the heck is a Pelucranos doing in there? I have not seen Casey ever resolve Pelucranos out of this deck in previous weeks.
There's one on the board.
So I don't know if that's something that Nick has added after he's borrowed the deck.
The black on black count as reprints. We want unique names, not how many times they've been printed.
Yep. You guys are overthinking this. Yeah. It's just how many different Planeswalkers exist in Magic. I'll give you a hint. It's over 3.
Yes.
Less than 1,000. So as I enjoy a delicious mango smoothie, Desecration Demon does what it does best, attack in for 6.
That's a good question. Do they include the Garrett flip?
That is a question that I'm prepared for, and the answer is no. So that card counts as 1 card.
Yes. Garrett Relentless.
Garrett the Veil Cursed is the only Planeswalker that's not included in this, other than Kiora.
So we have pretty much an empty board. Swinging in with some Mutavaults.
Yep.
Mutavault you to death.
Well, we found a Caryatid, so that will at least slow the clock down to a 5-turn clock as it sits. Serve in, block one. I really like Sylvan Caryatid. I've talked about this multiple times on the stream before, but I just love its design. They finally made a wall that makes mana that, like, hexproof is the key. Like, you need to be able to block with it and not be worried about getting blown out with, like, a forked bolt or something. So there is a Devour Flesh. Going to take out the Caryatid. That's a good answer to hexproof. You're going to gain some life, but then you're going to lose some due to the attack here. Nick finding a Temple of Abandon to see if he can find an answer. He does not. Scries one to the bottom. That Wisdom Mortars is a great card at this point in the game for everything other than Mutavault. So we got to draw a Hero's Downfall or an Ultimate Price. No, Ultimate Price won't work here. It has to be a Hero's Downfall or some other instant speed removal. We're shocking ourselves.
Going down to 1. What are we?
And I think Garrett just killed him. I think Nick just killed himself. What card we can have here? Lifebane Zombie.
Check out your hand first.
Ultimate Price on that guy in response. Serve in with everybody. Mizium Mortars is not an instant. Nick knows this. He's just Hollywooding for the camera. So, interesting. That deck, like I said, that deck that he borrowed from Casey Skibby has won the last 2 FNMs. So. Moment. Nick, I can't help but notice you're not as excited as we are about this.
I probably just had to be there.
You did.
There moment.
You can relive history.
I wasn't there. Oh, there's a video. I can look up the video, right?
Yeah. You go to facebook.com/ZachSellsMagic. Look for all the video. No, there's only like 30 videos. Look for the one that says, I don't know.
I don't know. Alright, I'll look for the one that says I don't know.
Alright, meanwhile, we're back into our bonus coverage here. We saw Garrett win too darn quick, so we moved to a second match. We've got Scotty Wright on the left, ironically, playing Junk Midrange. We've seen this deck a lot in the last few weeks. Mana Accelerants, Removal, Whip, and Obsidat. Loxodon Smiter's Voice of Resurgence. Basically just junk good stuff. And then Brandon Hart is playing Jund Midrange. I know nothing about his deck. I asked him what he was playing, and he showed me the 3 Shocklands.
That's all he's playing.
So Jund on Jund.
He's just Jund on Junk. Scotty's playing white.
He's playing Shocklands and Rude Awakening.
His deck is illegal as hell, not very good, but you gotta go big or go home. That's what we say here at the Zach Sells Magic podcast. Not a podcast, it's a live stream.
Whoops.
You know, there's. I always want to say that, like, every day on Twitter. I just want to be like, guys, I heard there's like 5 or 6 of you that don't have your own podcast still, so you need to get on that. There's like 9,000 Magic podcasts.
Yeah.
They're all horrible. They all think they're great. It's just a bunch of people sitting around talking, like, inside jokes, talking about drinking. And that's just Garrett.
That's my 5 podcasts.
So Scotty loading up on Arbor Elves and doing nothing else, which usually indicates Advent of the Worm.
Brandon loading up on Caryatids, but he misses land drop.
Yes. Brandon Hart, in the history of the stream, has missed a lot of land drops.
Naked Julia.
There is a 4-leaf Paul Chronos.
Is that a spam? Or no? What's Naked Julia?
I think it's a span account, maybe. So let's go ahead and do a quick old man source.
You guys don't want to see Naked Julia?
I don't know what that is, but I don't want to. So there's Pelucranos. More importantly, that's the Pelucranos that looks good. The other Pelucranos just looks like a blob. And there is the suspected Advent of the Worm token. I was not singling out any podcast. They're all, to a certain extent, annoying to me. Just the fact that everyone feels the need that they all should have one. Like, guys, we really need to get together in my basement and record our feelings with Theros Limited. I thought about doing a podcast when I started doing the live stream, and Ian Nolte, my confidant, basically said, why? He says, what would your content be? And I said, just us talking about Magic. He goes, I don't think people really want to hear that. And he was correct. So I abandoned that. Meanwhile, Scotty is loading up here.
The ultimate prize, the Polychronos.
Yep.
Followed up with an attack for 7 and a Voice of Resurgence.
Yep, so there's a Dreadbore on the Advent token. So that's at least going to buy Brandon some turns here. And then a follow-up with a Scavenging Ooze.
Scavenging who's very good in the junk deck.
That we can immediately tick up to a 3/3 here by eating the Pelucranos.
Yeah, there's no good team.
You really don't want to elaborate.
So Scotty, 2 cards in hand before the draw. Looks like he has a land. No, it's not a land. It's a Voice, a Smiter, and an Ooze. Good grief. All business from Scotty here. There's an Ooze. Might as well look.
So, wait a minute. The new legend rule says I should probably activate mine first.
Yep, in response to the Scavenging Ooze, we're going to go ahead and eat the Pelucranos so Scotty can't respond. Going to send Brandon up to 14, make the Ooze a 3/3. Now the question is whether Scotty's going to follow up with the Voice. Is there any reason why you wouldn't?
Brandon could play Anger of the Gods.
That's true. I don't know.
Not specifically good against voice themselves.
I don't know enough about this Jund archetype to know if they play that main or board.
Yeah, I think going into it blind, I think you have to play around it. But Scotty thinks otherwise. And even though Brandon has 2/0/3 blockers, he commits a 2/2. No attacks. Wow. Oh, I guess they're... Well, I don't know.
Like, you attack
Like
with voices because, well, no, you have to attack with 3 creatures here, and the problem is that then you end up getting something killed.
The Caryatids were tapped down. I think he wanted to suicide a voice there because, like, the Caryatids are just going to block the voices all day.
I don't think Brandon's ever blocking the voice with the Ooze. I mean, he's not going to kill it because it then becomes
So
giant.
It was either 2 free damage. Here's a Thoughtseize. It was either 2 free damage or get a big dude.
Is that a Reaper card?
That is Reaper of the Wilds.
Just almost lands.
No, yeah, it's a 4/5 for 4. Let's just bring it up. We've got card viewer technology tonight, so let's.
1 black to give it Death Touch. 1 and a green to give it Hexproof.
And when another creature dies, scry 1. This
The most often forgot trigger in Standard.
This card screams
Reaper trigger?
value. Yeah.
It's very, very good.
It gives a lot of velocity to a deck that really doesn't have that kind of deck manipulation. That was always the bad part about the old Jund deck in Thragtusk Standard, which was still the best deck, but short of Garrett was never really reloading on cards. So this game is, despite Scotty having all gas, just hasn't really done anything. Scotty, as you notice here, is sandbagging this Loxodon Smiter because he's waiting for Brandon to cast a Thoughtseize so that he bones him with it. I don't think that's any good at this point in the game.
He could also have not played over this play right here.
Whoops.
Is it overloaded?
Yep. So Overload Mortars is just going to leave 2/2/2 elemental tokens.
Yep.
Let's see if Brandon remembers his
Scries
triggers
6
here.
times. 6 missed triggers.
Yep.
Whoops.
Brandon quickly leading the missed trigger race. And Scotty bringing out his patented Jerry Thompson Merit Lodge tokens for. He always uses them for voice.
Nope,
Oh.
he's not forgetting.
Nope, he is.
He touched it.
He's touching it a lot, actually.
Yep, nice.
Oh, there it is. He got it.
Oh, 6 triggers and he's going to keep the first one.
Well, but honestly, 6 isn't really that great. I mean, you really do want to leave the best card on top anyway.
You're right.
So serving in with the 4/5.
I feel like you should have to resolve this. You need to look at that card 6 times.
That has to be the scariest thing for Scotty, though.
You're going to rules lawyer him.
You get 6 triggers and you just kept the first one.
Yeah.
What card is that?
Maybe another Mortars.
It has to be like a Storm Breath Dragon or something.
Yeah. So here comes the Loxodon Smiter. Then, to be fair, Scotty may be sandbagging just for that kind of situation where. So these are both 3/3s now. So you can trade an Ooze here. Do you do that? I don't think so because you just
There's
untap.
plenty of creatures over there now for Ooze.
Can you eat a voice in response to the trigger, but it doesn't do anything, right?
Right.
Because the trigger's already on the stack.
Yep.
So Brandon just takes it, but doesn't update our life counter, so he should be at 8, correct?
Correct.
So 4, 5 mana for Dragon. Yup, you called it.
Well, Brandon Hart's known to love dragons.
Brandon does love dragons. He was actually talking to me earlier about trying to get some trade for some staples because apparently he's found something with someone with a Zodiac Dragon. It's the only one he needs for his collection.
Well, I guess it doesn't really matter.
Are you afraid he's going to die on his crackback?
It's a 4/5.
4
That's 8
and
damage.
Storm Breath's 4.
Yeah.
I was thinking he should have attacked with Scavenging Ooze as well.
If you're Scotty,
No, that doesn't kill him.
If you're Scotty, don't you just take 8 here?
Die on the crackback, yeah.
Because Brandon can go up to 9. Scotty needs to draw a creature,
He draws
attacks
a
with...
creature and attack with everything.
Yeah.
He's got 2 blockers though, so.
Yeah, so
I think
being
that's probably better,
able to
leaving
go up
his back.
being able to go up to 9, he doesn't die to a top deck creature here. Yeah, I still like this from Scotty just taking the damage because it doesn't. You're not going to win this game if you let your Smiter die. Scotty rips. He doesn't matter because it's not good enough.
He only had 4 lands.
Ask him what he drew. Ask him what he drew.
He only had 4 lands.
Was it after that?
No.
What did he draw? Open the door and ask him what he drew.
What did he draw?
Forest! His only weakness. If you'd drawn Swamp, might have still been in it.
Now the call reaches.
Someone's building an EDH deck.
Supreme Verdict. That doesn't fit the theme. Ketteric Parasite, Warren Power Stone, Evacuation, and Patterskull. This is all for 1 EDH?
No, that's for Trace.
Oh, it's for you're trading for all that stack of cards you got?
Yeah.
Or is that stuff you're picking up?
That's what I'm giving up. Well, theoretically, we haven't settled anything. So we're into the decider here. Under 5 minutes remaining. These guys have a 3-minute extension because we did move them. Opposite that hits the bin off a turn 1 Thoughtseize from Brandon, revealing a hand that I missed. And Scotty not playing nice and leaving it up for us all to see. Where do you stand on that, Nick? On an FNM type level, do you, when someone thought seizes you or probes you or something, do you leave it up on the table or do you say, hey, write it down?
I mean, me personally, I just, they write it down or, they don't, whatever. I don't leave the card showing usually.
Fair enough.
It's just a personal thing though. I mean, obviously
Garrett
it's
leaves
just a
them
fun
up
game or whatever
and
I
then
do.
puts them all on a 90-degree angle at the side of the playmat, so it clearly indicates that they are not in play. So good style. Think about that the next time you never play Magic.
I run a business now. You don't play Magic.
I give them the business, right? That's what I do.
So Brandon with 2 basics, which is never where John wants to be.
It's not a good look. In the Chun deck, Golgari Charm, Abrupt Decay, 3 lands.
Hey, at least they're 2 different colored basics.
He obviously played that forest there, thinking that he could abrupt decay the voice, and then rethought that decision. So it came back. It came at a cost, not thinking that play through. He could have played a tablet grip or something.
Yep, he did make a bit of a boo-boo there, but we'll allow it.
Then obviously you can't play abrupt decay in response to the Thoughtseize because voice reassurance would give you
My phone has died, so...
Didn't you just say you got a new phone because your other one always
Yeah, but
died?
it hasn't been charged, and I don't have a charger, I don't think. I'll look later.
I have one in my car.
But, do you have John Johnson's contact info?
Yes.
Maybe
Yes.
send him a text that says, hey, Zach's phone's dead.
He has my
Contact
phone
me.
number.
I give him a deck for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll also give him my phone number in case he got lost this evening.
It's PTQ Zach's house. So Voice comes in, now joined by a Scavenging Ooze. We know Brandon's hand is mostly Shocklands.
Boy, viewers are going to get a treat when John Johnson gets here. I have John Johnson, Nick Beckvar, and Zachary Evans in the booth all at once. Woo.
I don't know what John's going to do, but he's going to be mad about something.
Why is that?
He's just always mad.
Oh. He's just going to come in here and
Well,
quit.
I mean,
He's just
He's
going
going
to
to quit
quit.
Magic.
He's going to quit Magic and restart Magic 4
Yes.
times during the stream.
the deck that I'm loading him doesn't have full art foil Japanese in the card.
He likes his shiny ones, man.
So he's probably going to be pissed about that.
He does. He is going to be upset about your non-ballers, though.
He'll
There's
just replay. Well, I don't know if he has any cards on him. I hope he brought his 60 pack rats he's supposed to sell me.
So Reaper the Wild shows up. That's going to sufficiently clog the board. For as bad as Brandon's draw has been, Scotty has not put on any pressure. There's a Thoughtseize. How you like my Golgari Charm? Why is a Golgari Charm in the deck?
Underworld Connections, all the Mana Dorks,
I guess it's for the Mana Dorks, right?
Life Bane Zombie.
So the race is on here, right? Just serve in with the, yep, just get in there with the Reaper. Try to race.
Scotty had an opportunity to kill it while Brandon was tapped out, but obviously didn't have a removal spell.
Did not have a removal spell. Scotty draws another blank off the top. Serve in with the voice.
This is where voice is,
Not at its finest.
This is where voice
surprisingly,
is a tutu.
if I told you that this was a $40 card, this Grizzly Bear that's on the field right now, what would you think?
At this point, it's just as good as a Tidebinder Mage against the mono black deck.
It's
That's our average.
it's literally
We usually get it much later, though.
literally as good
We
as
should break 300 tonight.
7th edition Grizzly Bear.
This is my man, Cameron, recognizing that our clock is for entertainment purposes only. I always talk about that. Serve in with the Reaper.
He's got to block at some point.
There we go. Advent of the Worm.
Double block. So Death Touch kill them both.
Well, you just single block it since 4/5.
You double block and kill it.
Yeah, but Death Touch.
The Worm's a 5/5.
Oh, I'm dumb. I thought it was a 4/4.
No. Costs 4 mana, but it's a 5/5 champion.
Again, it shows how much I play Magic these days.
I know, right?
I don't read cards anymore. I just know their prices.
But it
So-
is an even trade, except for Brandon does get to scry one.
And here's the awkward point where we're going to have to give him a voice token. We're going to give it Death Touch.
Yeah.
Do you scry off that?
Yes. You get
Yeah.
scratch once.
Yeah, no, just one.
Just one. It's the other creature.
Another. Yeah.
That is a common mistake too. Not only do people miss it, they think it's the Reaper as well.
Well, if it doesn't say other creature, it would. But it leaves on top again.
Dragon coming.
Well, it could be a dragon. It could be something simple.
Well, it's his time to get
So
back in the
Scotty
game.
has 2 lands and an ultimate price in his hands, but he's got a 5-turn clock. It might work. There, oh, that's a game breaker here. Scavenging Ooze. Now, Scotty's going to be able to answer it, but Brandon's going to be able to gain a lot of life here.
1, 2,
1,
3.
2, 3.
Did he tap 2 green over there too? He must tap his mana.
No, he tapped correctly. But yeah, he's going to make a 5/5 Ooze, gain 3 life. But I mean, it buys him 2 more turns.
Yeah.
I think how many creatures are in the graveyard?
3.
You just eat one, right? You just put yourself at an odd number since you're being attacked by a 2/2.
I think you can gain as much life as
Yeah,
possible.
That way,
Gain
if
3.
you have a if this ooze dies, there'll be another creature in the graveyard. So yeah, you can eat all 3.
Counterspell?
So if he draws another ooze now, he can eat the current ooze that's currently in the graveyard.
Yeah. I think you're just better. I see what you're talking about. I think you're just better off, like, just playing to the idea that you don't draw another ooze other than, like, the very small instance where you would be able to make a bigger ooze. But,
Well, every
like you
creature-
said, you can still make it a 3/3.
Every spell in
Whoops.
every spell in Brandon's deck takes care of
Smite.
scavengers.
So the ooze was what he left on top from the scry, correct?
Correct. He still has 2 lands in his hand.
So I just heard 3 more minutes from JB. I didn't give him the extra time. Extension. So terminate. Well, basically terminate. Dreadboard takes out the Lockstone Smiter, but we're still got this voice to deal with here. Is Brandon's deck playing Rakdos Return?
Yes.
So he's 1 land short of that being lethal. Well, now he's not.
Good cards here are Rakdos Returns, Inagos, Stormbreath Dragon, Vraska. Yeah, Vraska's good enough. Like Vraska would come down -3 and then she does on the next turn.
So we scry off our Temple of Abandon, put it on the bottom. So just drawing off the top here. Down to 5. Scotty passes back.
Unfortunately, the Gen deck does play a lot of layers. It's a deck that has to run, upwards of 26 to be able to cast some of its spells. So, Brandon has a lot of dead draws in this situation. Doesn't look like he's,
Reaper coming? No, Pelucranos.
one mana short of being able to activate.
And he shocked himself here, so down to 5. And just passes back? Why did he shock himself? Advent coming. I thought he had Advent in his hand. Oh, what a blowout. So in response to Advent, shoot the voice. Ultimate price in response means that the monstrosity never happens. So 7 power dudes on board, and Scotty Wright gets there. Pretty exciting final few turns there. Sometimes you just need a grizzly bear to attack 10 times.